So West Asia is like a tinderbox right now. Multiple stakeholders, heavily armed and not shy of using force. It is a volatile cocktail of violence and politics. What could make it worse? Try Chinese warships, because they're already there, 6 of them. The PLA, the Chinese army, has sent 6 warships to West Asia. It's not clear when they arrived, but last week they made their presence known. A Chinese naval task force was spotted in the Gulf. It had 3 warships, 1 destroyer, 1 frigate and 1 supply ship. Together, they were a task force. And this task force made 2 stops, Oman and Kuwait. Now, these ships had some serious firepower. The destroyer is what China calls the Zibo. It can launch guided missiles. It also has advanced radar and electronic equipment. Their last stop was Muscat, the capital of Oman. We cannot confirm where they are or where they went after that. So that's one team with 3 ships. Now let's tell you about the second one, the second group. Again, 3 warships. They were spotted earlier this month. They escorted a cargo ship from Panama. Their current status is not clear, but by all accounts, all these ships have not left the region. In other words, as the war between Israel and Hamas escalates, China has 6 warships in West Asia. What are they doing there? Fueling a lot of speculation, among other things. Experts are describing and discussing a range of possibilities as to why they're there, like the evacuation of Chinese citizens. That's being held out as one possibility, but it makes little sense because Beijing is not evacuating its citizens. Yes, it has asked Chinese nationals to leave Israel, but it's not arranging any chartered flights for them. China has told its citizens to, quote-unquote, find their own way home. Also, you don't need 6 warships to bring your people to safety. Another possibility is cargo protection, using ships for escort missions, securing the shipping lanes, keeping the goods flowing. And it's a more likely explanation at this point because oil supply is Beijing's biggest worry right now. It is a net importer of crude oil. 72% of oil used in China is imported. More than half of it comes from West Asia. Out of every 3 barrels of oil that China consumes, 1 comes from West Asia. For countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran, China is their biggest buyer of oil. And now this supply is at risk from the war. Also remember, China's economy is already in a bad shape. The last thing they want is to be short of oil. So Beijing is actively trying to contain the war. Last week, it sent a peace envoy to the region, a man called Zai Jun, a veteran Chinese diplomat. Today, he was in the UAE.
Special Envoy Zai Jun plans to continue to visit the Middle East to strengthen coordination with relevant parties on promoting a ceasefire, stopping the violence and cooling down the situation. We will continue to release relevant news in a timely manner.
And this is the assessment from the envoy himself, Zai Jun. He says the situation in Gaza is, quote-unquote, very serious. He's called for an immediate ceasefire and also offered to broker peace, but he's found no takers yet. So he's turned to the United Nations, asking them to step in. Zai has called for an international conference to end the war. China wants the United Nations to play the role of a mediator. Now remember, all of this is happening far away from China's traditional sphere of influence. This is West Asia, traditionally America's strategic playground. But China has waded in and made strides of late. It successfully mediated between Iran and Saudi Arabia, both key suppliers of oil to Beijing. It was a win-win for all sides. And since then, Xi Jinping has hinted at another mission, trying to settle the Israel-Palestine question. But this war is exposing the limits of China's diplomacy.